Sellersville, Pennsylvania. Where are you from?
Kelsterbach, Germany. It was then West Germany. It's now Germany.
Oh, I'll say Shannick, that's close enough.
Shannick. And where do you live now? We live in
Ephrata.
Ephrata. So how close are they?
About 6 miles.
Yeah. So you didn't go very far
No,
from growing
no.
up.
Lancaster.
It's
The Amish.
Lancaster County.
Lancaster. You've lived there forever.
Yes. And my husband had a feed business and he took feed to the Amish.
Yes.
Dad just was there. He was at Shady Maple.
He
You know.
was, yeah.
The Amish.
Yeah.
And the Liberty Bell.
Wawa.
Farmland, for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I was on the farm till I was 23.
Do you think that PA Dutch is real German? Because
No.
it's not.
No. Because we say Wasser and they say Wasser.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you say that it is? If it's not real German, is it?
It's Lancaster County, Pennsylvania Dutch.
So it's like a spin-off?
Reading it's still Pennsylvania Dutch, but it's different. Some words are different.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's
It's a lower
had
form of
other
German.
things added to it. There's German base there, but yes. Real German? No, like half.
Slightly is. What else is it?
That's a good question.
What do you think, Mom?
I can only guess they came up with their own words because I know even in Germany the different dialects sound different to other Germans, even though it's all German. Now I'm wondering if when they came here, different people selling from different areas, till they understood each other, different accents and stuff formed different words and they came up with one homogenized version. Strictly the
Mennonite?
Amish. And, yeah, I guess Mennonite too, yeah.
My whole family. My mom and dad spoke that to us until, like, let's say, we didn't have kindergarten. Till I maybe was 5. Then they started talking English to us so that we knew English when we went to school.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were home, it was Pennsylvania Dutch. It's still, we can talk with each other, but theirs is just a little different than ours.
You
Because
mean-
a lot of them speak High German.
You mean to the plain people?
The Amish. Because I was at a wedding and it was all in High German.
Okay.
They don't use electricity. They go around with horse and buggy,
They need to
I
bathe
know.
more often
and they're all farmers.
because they don't
Seems
wear
like they all
deodorant.
farm. Horse and buggy.
No, cottage cheese and apple butter.
Glasses.
That's pickled eggs.
What do you call them?
Pickled
Pickled
eggs.
Okay. Not anything
I
else?
guess they call them
Red
deviled
beet
eggs
eggs.
too.
Red
No, they're red beet eggs.
Oh,
What's the
okay.
matter with you?
That's a hard-boiled egg, and you put it in red beet juice, sour sweet juice.
Mm-hmm.
For a couple days, and it gets nice and red. Even the white on the inside is red.
Pie.
Some kind of soup.
It's pot pie. What's
Okay,
the
I'll
matter
go
with
with
you?
pot pie. I don't know what it is.
So
Cook it till it's tender.
the real pot pie is not pie. It's like
No.
chicken with big noodles.
That is pot pie.
Mhm.
That chicken pot pie, what they selling, that's a chicken pie. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a chicken pie. Some will call it that, but too many say pot pie, and it's not pot pie. Think of it, pot pie.
Yep.
Funny cake.
There you go, Mom.
Whoopie,
Whoopie
pies.
pies. Aw.
That's a gob.
I rang in first.
But those are pretty. I didn't know of any of those when I was home on the farm. So I guess they say it's Lancaster County, but there's a dispute between Maine and Lancaster County who had the first whoopie pie.
But
But we never had them at home, so I only know that since I'm married.
But have you ever heard of the term gob for a whoopie pie?
No.
Okay. See, because that would be the Lancaster form, is calling it a whoopie pie instead of a gob.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
That is.
Some kind of meat thing.
It's gross. What's that stomach with stuffing in it?
Is that
Yeah,
a pig stomach?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It's a hog maw.
I've never seen one
Grossness.
before. Yeah, it's
This is one that I don't know. Have you ever heard of hog maw? Hog like a pig, and then M-A-W.
Hog maw.
Hog maw.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Cheese and apple butter.
Oh, Scrapple.
Yeah. It's uncooked scrapple, Mom.
Okay.
Pretty much, I believe, Pennsylvania Dutch, because that's made from when you butcher your hog, all the pieces that you don't want to eat go into that.
And then you eat it anyway.
Well, it's good. I have some in the freezer now.
Chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Not chicken and waffles from down south chicken and
No,
waffles. That's
it's not.
Pennsylvania Dutch chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Because no gravy.
No. And chicken and waffles is fried chicken on a waffle.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah,
do know that. Okay.
Without any gravy or anything.
That's similar. You have to cook the chicken and take it off the bone, and then you make your waffle.
Is that a Dutchy thing or a Lancaster thing?
That's pretty much around a lot, I think.
So maybe not specifically a Pennsylvania Dutchy thing.
Butterfly pie.
That's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing.
Yeah.
Floss nuts.
Talk it real goodly.
Can you?
No.
She used to always say things backwards. She was very Dutchy.
Is talking backwards Pennsylvania Dutch?
No, you just finish your sentences with yet.
Okay.
you?
Yeah, like I mean like
There's breakfast, dinner, and supper.
yes.
There's no such thing as lunch. It's breakfast, dinner, and supper.
Say that you're Pennsylvania Dutch, Mom.
Pennsylvania Dutch von Snaw. Pennsylvania Dutch, they used to, I believe, spoke Pennsylvania Dutch when they were on the chicken hatchery when he was growing up. And he never could say my name right because he was so Pennsylvania Dutch that V's were W's, so it was vinegar and vegetable soup. And but he could never say them right, so he couldn't say my name Wendy. It was Vindy, always Vindy. So
And you said
he,
your grandparents grew up.
my grandparents, my dad's parents grew up in Juniata County, in Liverpool in Juniata County, and then moved down to Percy, Pennsylvania. So, and that's where my dad was born, in Percy, and that's where the chicken hatchery was. So,
And you know.
Did your grandparents ever speak Pennsylvania Dutch to you?
no,
No.
because we were like the last grandchildren that they had, so they had been here for so long.
Did Pop-Up ever speak Pennsylvania Dutch to you?
No, mm-mm.
No, he just had a strong accent.
Very strong accent, yeah.
Did he speak it with his parents?
Not that I ever knew.
Okay.
Do you remember any of the language at all? I know you and I talk about
Oh,
this often, where you remember some of it, or if you
Kumesa?
the Kumesa, that was the restaurant.
No.
Well, I know it as the restaurant.
Come and eat.
Come and eat.
Wasser?
What was it?
Do you want water? Ich lieb dich. I love you.
See, and that sounds very German from what we
That's
would
what
like
I
learn.
said some of the, because Popo, when he was in Korea, they were on a train to go somewhere, and the guy beside him was, where was he from? But he talked, wasn't quite German, but it was similar. And the only thing Charles could understand was Wasser, only he said it just a little different. But then when they got to talking, they could kind of figure out what the other one's saying.
Mm-hmm. Just if Papa used some of the PA
Because
Dutch
he
stuff.
knew Pennsylvania Dutch too. He was brought up
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Dutch too. So when we didn't want our kids to know something, we talked Pennsylvania Dutch. Dummeldick,
Was that?
hurry up. Goede wasdag. Good laundry day
What's a good laundry day?
today.
So it's sunny, a little
And
breezy
bit, yeah,
outside.
breeze. Mhm.
If you would hear someone speaking it now, how much do you think that you could
Oh,
understand or
All of-
respond?
all of it. But
Yeah.
I couldn't talk it anymore because I've been away from it too many years. But we had Mennonites build our fence. No, I was pretty young when we moved here. Anyway, we had Mennonites put a fence in for us. And they were talking Dutch, and I heard them something about me. And I just said in Dutch, "Ik kan ook Duits schwätzen." And then they were quiet after that.
So
that means I can talk Dutch too. So no, I can understand them.
Now yet.
Mhm.
My name is Calvin Leo. I am from New York City.
Where in New York are you from?
Manhattan, New York City.
My name is Jeff Brabeck, and I am from Raton, New Mexico.
I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I am from a small town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Monessen.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Do you need me to say that with more of an accent?
No.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Approximately an hour away from like here. Maybe.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Around Lancaster, PA?
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
I think it's somewhere in Pennsylvania. I've never been there in my life, but there are Amish people all over America. Like we have some in Wisconsin as well. But when I think Amish country, I think Pennsylvania, maybe over by Lancaster.
Well, in my opinion, I have heard of Amish country into where I think it is like the Lancaster area or Lancaster, however you pronounce it, wherever you're from. I say Lancaster. That is my extent of where their base of operations would be or their headquarters. But I know that that's not just the only place. I know that I've seen Amish people or the Pennsylvania Dutch people in all areas. I've seen them in Pittsburgh sometimes. I see them around here. So I guess if I just say like where I think they were mainly would be in the Lancaster area, but they could be anywhere really.
Have you ever been to Amish country?
I have not. I've received like gifts and like souvenirs from like the stores near Amish country, but I've never been there myself.
Somewhere in between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I don't know.
That's fine. So have you ever been to Amish country?
Yes, but I couldn't tell you where it is.
Lancaster.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Trees.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
A lot of Amish furniture stores and people riding around in buggies.
I think William Penn, and I think trees. Probably, I don't know, it's a pretty big space. So you have everything from Huntingdon to like Philly and Pittsburgh. So I probably think, I don't know, based on Huntingdon, I think small town. Maybe a little hick, but in a good way.
Well, I think of it as like the homeland of myself. But I think Pennsylvania is a kind of weird state because it's not all like rural or urban. It's a good mixture, and like two neighboring towns could be completely opposite. So like where I'm from, it's more of like an urban town, but then like not Pittsburgh, Monessen, but then close to it is a more rural area with a lot of farms and that kind of stuff. But overall, the state as a whole is kind of diverse in that means, because you have Pittsburgh and Philly, but then you have like where we are in central PA, where it's more like more rural and, you know, farmy, for lack of a better word.
Ticonderoga pencils.
Pennsylvania, what comes to mind?
Probably the Liberty Bell. Amish people. A whole lot of nothing.
People that hunt.
Like Church of the Brethren, like those kind of groups, like the Mennonites, maybe. That's about all I got.
Ish. Yeah. And yeah, I think Amish.
Pennsylvania Dutch, I would associate them with like the Mennonites or the Amish, or some other like similar religions to that. The values that they share, like the Amish and the Mennonites share, but I don't associate them with like an inner city group or anything like that, or like that kind of thing.
The gang of
The
Pennsylvania
gang of-
Dutch.
yeah. The
That'd be
Pennsylvania
so
Dutch
weird.
gang.
German people? Is that the right answer?
There is no right or wrong answer.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, I guess German people.
They tend to shy away from use of technology, very conservative, I would say, in their beliefs, tendencies. There's some that are more accepting of regular culture. They're kind of try to stay back in, when times were simpler.
Probably a little bit less progressive. I'm also going to throw in conservative and religious.
I'd say the only main stereotype I have is just the way they dress. You can kind of tell who they are just by how they dress. You know, the women traditionally wear like long skirts and high socks and like the bonnets or something that covers their hair. The men usually, I would say, they have like the beards and like the flat brim hats and suspenders and stuff like that. But
Drive, that they use a horse and buggy to go everywhere, and that, I don't know, I've heard that they don't have electricity in their houses, although I think that at this point that's not true. That sort of thing. That they can be mean. There's a whole show about it. Don't include that
The
part.
Amish Mafia.
Eggs, like we have some
Little eggs?
I've never heard of that. So probably pink eggs.
deviled eggs.
No.
No, beets. Pickled eggs.
It's
egg. It's an egg.
It's red.
Eat eggs.
Yeah, good
okay.
job.
My roommate eats those.
Chicken noodle soup.
Took stroganoff and like chicken noodle soup and threw it together.
Is that chicken noodle soup? Or like chicken and dumplings?
It's chicken pot pie.
Oh, it's a chicken pot pie? It
Yeah.
looks like a very watery pot pie.
Well,
Fake macaroon.
Whoopie pies or moon pies.
a gob. Or a, what are the other words they call them? I call that a gob. It's
Whoopie pies.
yeah.
Sausage loaf.
Pig spread.
That's bread. That's not bread? Oh, is that a meatloaf? Like a cold meatloaf?
Scrapple.
Glasses version of a churro.
Fly pie.
It's a fudge pie.
I'm from Berlin, Germany. That's on the west side, nearby Düsseldorf, Cologne, this area.
Germany.
Where in Germany?
The town is called Borken. I don't think you know it. It's in West Germany.
Yeah.
Like near Gelsenkirchen.
I have, because a friend of mine who went to an Amish village, and he told me that he kind of could understand them, but not really. But I've never met someone, so I'm very curious about how they speak and if I would understand it or not.
Okay, so who do you connect it with? Or, yeah, like what groups?
Only the Amish, I guess.
Yeah. With Pennsylvania Dutch prior to me saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said it before in the interview,
Yeah.
but before that, no.
Okay.
So I think they're like not that modern. They are stick to their groups and don't have so much like connection to the outside, like to our world with all that technologies. Yeah.
Okay.
Know that they're not using electricity. And they are living, I don't know, like 500 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I really have stereotypes.
That's okay.
Never heard it, so I don't know, but I don't think so, because I think just they're not in Germany anymore, so our language is changing in our country, and they haven't been in Germany for a long time, and I think just a language is changing over time a lot,
Right.
and they will have influences from English as well.
I've never heard this, the language, but I assume not.
Okay.
Okay, I can not understand the second part of it. No. So I can say what the first one, the first part means, but I don't have any clue what the second part means. So I think, how would you say that in English though? When you hide next to a wall.
So part is German, and then it's, I don't know.
That
I mean,
makes sense. Yeah.
Herzi, no, I have no idea. Do you have all of these?
No, just the
Okay.
first one. So it's a phrase that means if you listen through the wall, you will hear others recite your faults.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Never heard
You
that.
would not have gotten that from
No,
the
probably not.
in this.
No, it was very strange. So there are some German words I can definitely hear, but there are also definitely like English words. So I think we would call it in Germany to speak Denglish.
Yeah.
So Deutsch, German, and English together. So if I would have a conversation with an Amish, I wouldn't understand them.
Okay.
I would say that, yeah. Maybe the context,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Do you think if you listened a little harder, because I know like your friend said that if they listened pretty hard, he could understand them. Do you think if you like really, really listened really close that you would be able to understand what was happening because you know German and English?
I would say so, yeah. But more the context again, I would say. Like you can't understand like every word because also I don't know every English word. But yeah, I think the context I would understand. And maybe that would be an interesting question if I would speak German with them, if they could understand me.
Yeah.
I mean, I understood some words, of course, but I couldn't summarize the conversation. I couldn't.
If you like focused really hard, do you think maybe you would understand it, or do you think it would just be kind of like a?
Maybe if the person would sit next to me, maybe I would understand more, but I don't know because I told you I speak also a little Dutch.
Yeah.
But it's
still not Dutch at all, right? Yeah. Okay, so. If Pennsylvania Dutch is real German, we still don't think so.
No.
So, if it's not real German, but it's also not real English, what do you think it is?
It's a strange mixture of both, I guess. So it's very interesting that it is not like German that changed so much, but it's really a mixture of both. I can't understand. I can't explain it better, but it's definitely not German anymore.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is on Wikipedia, it's classified under a dialect of German.
No.
But when you compare that to like I don't know Schwabish or something, like
no,
it's so far removed.
Yeah.
That you can't.
I mean, there are some dialects in German I could understand. I also have to concentrate very well, but it's a completely different thing over there, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So if it's not, what do you think it is?
Probably a combination of German, Dutch, maybe a little bit of English. Like maybe a combination of all these.
Okay. So on Wikipedia, Pennsylvania Dutch is under a dialect of German. Do you think that it fits, or is it just kind of like a, no, it doesn't count anymore?
I mean, it depends on how you define dialect, but I mean, I could see it that way, yeah.
But it's also been removed for so long from the German that's spoken in Germany that it's kind of this very old.
Yeah.
Lena said it was a Denglish, like a.
Yeah, probably something like that, yeah.